everybody, it's Taylor, and in today's episode of Beauty University, I'm really hoping that you're going to be ignoring my hair because it's very frizzy and very annoying. That has nothing to do with the video. I just thought I'd say something. Today we're going to be talking about another beauty basic, which is primers. Primers are a huge part of makeup just because they really help your makeup to stick, to last all day, and to look really flawless. To run through with you guys kind of what primers are all about, different kinds for the face, different kinds for the eyes, and a couple other different kinds of primers that I have used in my lifetime. So let's jump right in. So like I said, the idea of a primer is to go on underneath all the rest of your makeup and to really help your makeup stick, to help it to last all day, and to help colors pop when you're working, especially with eye makeup. It'll help your colors on your eyeshadow to really pop. There are a few different ingredients that work really well in primers. There are a few different things that they can be made of, and there are a lot of different forms that they can come in. So I'm going to just be showing you guys some top favorites for like face primers, eyelid primers, and stuff like that, and tell you guys what they're all about. So the first kind of primers we're going to be talking about are face primers. A lot of people think that face primers are a complete myth. I mean, not that they don't exist, but they think they're just a total joke and that they don't actually do anything. And to be honest, I was definitely on that bandwagon for a long time until I started using the right products, learning about the stuff that's in them, and finding the products that worked well for me. So today I'm going to be running you guys through some of my favorite face primers here and some that didn't really work for me but might work for some other people. So let's go ahead and get onto the face primers. I'm going to start with drugstore face primers just because I feel like these are the most easily accessible to everybody. They're affordable, they're not really hard to find, they're available at Walgreens or Target or Walmart or wherever it is you buy your drugstore makeup. So the two that I have here are in different forms, but as far as I can tell, they're basically the same product. These have very similar qualities, they're the same color, the same texture, just one comes in a tube and one comes in a pot. This is the Garnier 5 Second Blur Skin Renew Instant Smoother, and it is just a little pink cream that comes out of the tube, and like I said, it feels like the same product as this one, which is the L'Oreal Paris Magic Perfecting Base Face Primer. Both of these do what they say they're going to do in that they blur your pores and they help for your skin to just be very smooth under your foundation. The only issue that I found with these, being an oily skin person, is that they did tend to make things slick off on me. So if you don't have oily skin, these might be great products for you, but for me personally, they were a little too slick. But if your main concern is blurring over your pores or like blurring over imperfections on your face, then these are a winner. Well, two winners, but the same product, So the next category of primers are mainly silicone based. Those other ones might have been as well. I actually don't know the ingredients in those ones, but these ones, it's very obvious when you come across a silicone based foundation primer because they have this weird texture to them. They're like slick, but I can't even explain it to you guys, but I have two of them here. The first one is the Bare Minerals Prime Time Foundation Primer in Original, and then this is the Smashbox Original Photo Finish Foundation Primer. Wow, lots of F's and words. These, like I said, for oily skin people, they say that they market them towards oily skin people because it blurs over your pores and because it does create such a smooth and flawless canvas, but personally, I find that if I use a primer like this, it will completely slick off of my face. So again, it is something that I think is better used for people who have a little bit drier or more normal skin, but if you're oily, I would honestly not recommend these. However, they are very good when working with powder products, so like that's why they have this one. When you're using the Bare Minerals like powder foundations and stuff like that, like their whole system, I have one of the little kits and this came with that. And I do put this on for that, and then I'll put on the powder foundation just because it does work at helping the powder foundation stick to your face better than like some other kinds of primers. I feel like this one is really suited for powder products. So that is one plus that I found with the very heavily silicone-based primers. Another one that kind of falls in that category but is a little bit different is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer in Light. It is just the white one. There's a whole series of these in a bunch of different colors for different purposes, but this is just the one that I happened to buy. Definitely liked it for a while. I've just found some other products that I do like better, but this is a very good primer. Smashbox makes a lot of good primers. That other one is from them as well. It's just not for my skin type, but definitely if you're looking for a good primer, that is a very trustworthy brand. And now on to some of my absolute favorite face primers. Also, I don't want you guys to feel like I'm downplaying these other primers at all. If you have a different skin type than me, then these would totally work for you. They are still good products that I believe in. I'm just letting you know that personally for my oily skin, like, because I'm like oily all the time. So personally for my skin, these ones didn't work for me, but if you have any other skin type than mine, this would be great for you. But I do have some things for the oily skin girls as well. This is one of the very first super high-end primers that I ever tried. It is the NARS Radiance Enhancing Pro Prime Light Optimizing primer. It does have a sunscreen in it, which sometimes you want, sometimes you don't want, depending on what you're doing after your makeup is done. But this is a very, very nice primer. Definitely can work with all different skin types. I know that I have oily skin, and so usually things that say radiance enhancing or like light optimizing, like words like that don't usually go with oily skin because it usually means that it's going to be illuminating. But this definitely worked very nicely for me. It has like a little bit of an almost shimmery effect to it, but not so much that it made me oily. Very nice primer, especially though if you do have dry skin, this would be great for you because it will offer that radiance. It will offer that little bit of an almost dewy look when you're finished with your makeup if you use the right products with it. So this is an awesome primer, and I know that NARS makes some other really great primers as well. But my absolute all-time favorite primer line in the history of ever and forever until, I mean, somebody comes out with something pretty miraculous is the Makeup Forever Step 1 line. Now, their line has so many different types of primers for different skin types. There's ones that are for anti-aging, there's ones that are for hydration, moisturization, there's ones that are for so many different things. The one that I use is their mattifying primer. This is an oily skin girl's dream. I've talked about it before, and I will continue to talk about it until the day that I either die or find something that mattifies you for life or something, because this is one of the greatest primers I've ever used. Well, definitely the greatest primer I've ever used in my life. This one is so mattifying for oily skin. It is so nice. You end up with a very matte finish, and then you can just put the highlight where you want it to. Like I put it on my cheekbones today, on the tip of my nose, and on my cupid's bow, but I'm not shiny in the other places, as you can kind of see here. Especially for the summertime for me, this has been an absolute dream. But the nice thing about this line is, like I said, they have things for everybody. My mom is currently using the hydrating primer, and that's working really nicely for her because she does have, you know, obviously older skin than I do, and so she's losing some of her moisture in her skin, and so that's really helping to kind of keep it in there and lock it into place while she's putting on her makeup. So definitely hands down, I think that the Makeup Forever Step 1 line is probably my absolute favorite primer line of all time. One last face priming product I thought I would tell you guys about is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. Now, there are some other things that say they're like a primer water like this as well. Honestly, I don't know that I would use it as a primer all by itself. I think that this is a nice thing to use before you put on your makeup, but I don't know that I would say it's really a primer in the sense that you just use this and then your face makeup and you're done. I feel like this is to be used with another primer to help with like keeping the moisture in your face, keeping your face very supple and nice, keeping it hydrated, getting vitamins in there. I know that like Urban Decay has a vitamin spray that I feel like is very similar to this, and so yeah, I personally would not use this as like my only primer ever, but I do like to use it every once in a while if my skin is feeling a little bit dehydrated, because oily skin can get dehydrated. Common myth that it can't, it can. It definitely can. So I like to use this and kind of spray it on my face before I put on my other primer just to like prep my face, but I'm not sure that I would ever use it by itself as a primer. So those are just kind of some face primers that I have used in the past that I have liked and that I think that you guys will like as well. Now we're going to move on to the next kind of primer, which is an eyelid primer. Eyelid primers can be used for all sorts of things relating to your eye makeup. It can be used to kind of color correct your eyelids if you have some discoloration or redness or, you know, veins on your eyelids that you want to cover up. It can be used for stuff like that. There can be ones that are made to make your eyeshadows pop. There are ones specifically, I know Too Faced has a glitter glue, which is made to be used with very glittery eyeshadows or with actual like glitters, and that's to kind of help them stick on the eyelids. So there's a lot of different kinds of eyelid primers, so I'm just going to run through a couple of my favorites with you guys today. As far as basic eyelid primers go, just things that are marketed as regular eyelid primers, my absolute favorite one is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is just the original one. This is actually the small tube of it. I have two little travel tubes that I carry because I was just trying it out and trying to see if I liked it, so I just bought the smaller sizes, but definitely this is my favorite, and when I repurchase I'll be getting like as many of the big ones as I possibly can. But like I said, as far as just regular eyeshadow primer, this is my favorite, and I just put a little bit onto my ring fingers and apply that onto my eyelids. Yeah, that's just kind of how I apply it, but this is definitely my favorite as far as basic eyeshadow primers go. However, if I'm looking for a little bit more color correction, one of my favorite products to use is the NYX Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer in the shade CJ10 Yellow. They have a ton of shades of this if you are looking for something that's better for your skin type, but this one just works really well on me. Like I said, this is used to cover up any discoloration that might be on your lids. If you want to use it around the whole eyelid area and kind of cover up veins, under eye circles, things like that, this is a great product to use. And I like to use it also if I'm going in with something that's very like skin colored or like neutral palette kind of eye look, I like to use this just because it gets rid of any other colors or tones that might be in my skin, and it will just be the shades of the eyeshadow left. I'm just noticing that all the rest of my eye primer products come from NYX too, just because they make really, really good products, I feel like, for this purpose. If I'm going for something with a lot of sparkle in the eyeshadow, sometimes I will use the NYX eyeshadow base in Pearl. I think this is, yeah, it's in White Pearl. And it is just a white eyeshadow primer, but it has a ton of like little shimmers in it. This is really great for working with shimmery eyeshadows that you still want to pop. So if I'm working with like pastel shimmer shadows, sometimes I'll put this underneath it just to make sure that the colors come out really well, but then it still has the extra glitter. White eye bases are always nice to use with any kind of colored eyeshadows, if they're like bright colors or if they're pastels or something like that that you just really want it to pop. Using a white eye base will create a completely clean canvas, and then it will actually just be like coloring on like with a crayon or something like that. Like the full color will show up, it will just be the color of the eyeshadow. Same idea when you paint your nails with a white layer and then you paint like a neon shade over it. It will really help the color to pop, and it helps all of the color saturation to be there. My other favorite products for priming my eyes are the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencils, and I have a few different shades here, but I have a ton like in my eyeshadow drawer. But some of my favorite ones for priming my eyes are Black Bean, which is just a matte black, Milk, which is a matte white shade, and then Yogurt, which is like a shimmery champagne pink color, which this is one of the ones that I use probably the most often just because I use a lot of eye colors that are similar to this, so priming with this really helps it out. These are very sticky and blendable, and then they're very good at sticking to the eyeshadow, so super nice products for priming your eyes as well. Plus, these products are versatile. You can use them as an eyeshadow, an eye base, you can use them as eyeliner. So I use the black one a lot of times to line my waterline and stuff like that, so definitely a versatile product, great to have in your collection, not only as a primer but as other things as well. So I don't really know how organized this video was for you guys. I mean, basically not at all, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys some of my favorite primers and explain to you that primers are not a scam. They are not like a fake product that's just made to have you spend your money on it. They really are going to help with the longevity and the lasting power of your makeup, whether it's your face makeup, your eye makeup, anything like that. It's really going to help just get your face ready. I mean, that's exactly what priming is. It's going to help your face get ready and keep the makeup that you're putting on it. So I personally wholeheartedly believe in primers. I just think it's important to find the right kind. So try out some of the ones that I told you guys about today. Let me know what you like in the comments down below. And thank you for coming to this episode of Beauty University. I will see you next time. Love you. Bye.